Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to everybody out there. It is Christmas morning, and I hope everybody gets what they want for Christmas. I'm actually down at my in laws. You guys might remember the bookcases that I was building in my workshop there. Um, Me and Michael came down last week and installed them, and my wife, the decorator that she is, has gone through and got them all nice and decorated. So it actually looks really, really nice. Makes it very cozy in this space. So I got to tell you, I'm really off my game this week. The loss to the Eagles, I'll put it out there. In a way, it was devastating and like a shock. It was like finality of really the season. I know we still have a chance. You mean there's a chance? There's a chance? Yeah, there's a chance for us to make the playoffs. But quite frankly, there is nothing about this team that deserves to be in the playoffs. It is another wasted year. And I'm hoping that the feeling that I have, because this is Redskin Cowboy Hate Week. This is what I lived for growing up. It used to be the Redskins and the Cowboys, and the air was electric because it was one of those teams that almost always won the division and were playing for playoffs and Super Bowls. Between the 70s and the 80s, these two teams dominated the NFL. And now here it is, the last game of the season, and we're fighting for making sure we don't have a losing season. The Redskins, well, they're just hoping to get an extra victory and some bragging rights over the Cowboys. But I'm hoping that this smack in the face, this feeling of reality sinking in, that the Cowboys just are not a good team. That we've wasted talent and time sits in with everybody in that locker room. Understand, to win a Super Bowl, you need to have everything go right. You need to stay healthy. You need a couple of breaks sometimes from the officials. You need your coaches to put you in positions and get you advantages to win. You need the ball to bounce your way a couple of times. None of those things happened for us this year. None of them. You can't honestly look at our coaching and say they innovated and found wrinkles that gave us advantage on plays. We stayed healthy, but we had problems from special teams where you're the worst. You're the worst. You're having to go 90 and 97 yards against a Ram team to beat them, when other teams only have to go from, say, the 30, 35. It's not winning football. It's losing the game of field position. Your defense can't take the ball away for whatever reason. And that is literally like gold. A turnover can be as much as a 14-point swing in a game. 14 points. You're preventing them from scoring, and you have an opportunity for an easy score. It's that big. Tackling, atrocious. Innovation, we're doing things that we did in the 90s. And you see teams that are succeeding, like, say, Baltimore. Baltimore, they looked at their players. They said, we can stick with a Joe Flacco, a guy, pocket passer, who's getting old. Probably be pretty good with that. But we've got this young pup, this young stud, this young guy who has no fear in running and can run, and he can pass. If we change what we're doing using those skill sets, it's going to be something that nobody else has seen out there before. And it's going to take time for people to catch up. That's an innovation. Bill Belichick analyzes everything and realizes Tom Brady is not the same guy. I don't have, Gronk and the other weapons that I used to. I'm going to have to make sure that I find an advantage elsewhere and use the special teams to advantage. Blocking a punt from us. That was the difference between us winning and losing in that game. And then you look at other teams out there. Desire and an attitude and a will. I'm not going to say that the Eagles are a better team. They were definitely the better team. Or they willed themselves to win. They wanted it. And that edge was the difference. And I see that difference in many games for our team. Sometimes it just looks like our team just comes out there unprepared, lifeless, little passion. Whereas the Eagles, every one of those guys wanted to be on the field. Those guys broken up, carted off, broken bones, kept coming back. We had guys that were winded. They're on the sideline. All of those things came together and gave us the season we got. If we're lucky, we can get to mediocre with the victory over the Redskins. But we need everybody to look within themselves, to do some soul searching, and stop living on what the Cowboys have done in the past. We need a new attitude, and we need a sense of urgency and a sense of hunger. It was a shock. But if this means that we're going to wipe the plates clean on this Christmas, that we're going to start over, that we are going to get away from clapping, then it's all worth it. You know, in my life, I've had things that have happened to me that make you realize what you have and make you hungry. I was burned in a fire from here down on my left leg and a little bit on my right. Excuse me, on my right leg and a little on my left. I had to get skin grafted. Spent a couple weeks in the hospital. And during that time, I felt sorry for myself because when I saw my leg after the surgery and how it was just mangled, it was just terrible. It was terrible. And I felt, woe is me. This is the worst thing in the world that could have happened. Then I met this guy. Well, I didn't meet him at first. When I was in there feeling sorry for myself, I've been burned. How could this happen? I kept hearing these moans that were like death, like they were coming from the other side. Nothing that you can imagine. Real pain. And I asked the nurse when she came in, I was like, nurse. I was like, okay. She said, yeah. He was in a car explosion. She said they didn't do him any favors by bringing him back. He's been in the hospital for 6 months. He's medicated as much as he can be and forever will be a burden to society. And I was like, man, that's pretty cold for a nurse to say like that. Another day, after I had my surgery and I'm able to start walking around, they encourage you to walk around. Another nurse had told me about the guy next door. And it turned out his name was Mark as well. And he had a couple of kids and a wife who had basically written him off. They didn't come back and visit him anymore or anything like that. And she was telling me this, and she said it would do him really good for you to go by and just say hello. So the only contact he has is with medical personnel. Nobody comes to see him. And I walked in there and I met him, and seeing the condition that he was in, he was burned 90% of his body. His ears were burned off. His hands were like two nubs. And it was at that moment that I realized how lucky I was to be in the position that I was in. Turns out he got better and he actually walked out of the hospital, which is a great ending for it. But what you have to understand is, if you don't have bad times, you don't learn to appreciate the good ones. And sometimes you have to hit rock bottom and have things happen to get you focused on making things better. Because then, after you hit rock bottom, after you go through that low point, you get rededicated, refocused on the goal, and you don't take things for granted. And unfortunately, that's where our Dallas Cowboys are. Most of these guys are, younger guys. They've been there 2016 and things like that. So, automatically 2016 we're 13-3. Yeah, we had a little bit of a down year, 9-7 and all that, but then we bounce back and make the playoffs again. And now you're the toast of the town. Everybody tells you how great you are, how wonderful it is. And you take it for granted that this is how it's always supposed to be. But maybe this is a Christmas gift to the Dallas Cowboys that will lead them to something better. That's my hope. We went from having, at the moment, probably the 21st pick to 15. That's an improvement. And when you look at that, I want you to think about this now. All these things have repercussions. That 15 pick in the first round instead of 21st, that means your second pick is 47. 47 and 15 sound a lot better than 21 and 52. Sure, Jerry Jones is going to still have his hand in the mix some. But at 77, how much can he have his hands in the mix? You're going to get somebody else in here that's going to figure out what kind of guys they want on the team. And maybe this makes the Cowboys look differently as to how they're paying some of the players and say, I paid these guys and I lost with them. I can maybe not pay some other ones and still lose without those as well. And put people on notice and get them on edge to get them help to be motivated. So on this Christmas, I'm not sad. I'm actually going to be happy about where the Cowboys will be headed. Got to hit rock bottom to affect change. And well, change gonna come. Hope you have a great Christmas, and I'll see you guys soon. I'll do a drawing. I'm getting the names actually this morning. Got to do a couple of things over here for my in-laws to finish off the bathroom. But I'm gonna get all the names put in there, and everybody who super chatted during our other live streams, game day and Monday and yesterday, we're gonna do another drawing for another fathead. So stay tuned for that. And tomorrow I'll get all the shot glasses out for everybody who donated to help out Justin. And if you want to get any shot glasses, the proceeds are going to go to helping Justin and stuff. My website, Cowboy Joe Boo. If you go on the website, I haven't posted and updated stuff on there in a while. I'm going to start doing more and more of that now that we have less Cowboys to talk about. But there is a link down in there to the Joe Boo store where you can order the shot glasses. So if you want to help spread the mojo, or if you want to try and just drink with the Cowboys, to pour it out for the season, go right ahead. And we've got some other things that are coming up too. So, as always, friends, hope you're having a great day. I'll see you soon.